And there are cultures who pray before they eat a meal, and that used to be the case. For example, when I grew up in my family, we always said a prayer before we ate meals. I don't know, somehow that has gone out of vogue. People don't seem to have time, or they don't consciously do that anymore. Maybe we're lacking spirituality in our modern age or something. But I hope that sort of thankfulness will come back, because even in the Lord's Prayer it says, "Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses as we forgive those who trespass against us." Now those are powerful words if you think about that. What does that mean? You forgive somebody who does you a wrong. How many of us are conscious and mindful of doing that? Somebody backs into you in a parking lot and drives away, and you see him doing that. Have you got the ability to sit there and not get angry and forgive him for doing the wrong thing? Can you do that? Well, if you can, that tells you something. You've come a long way, and that's the path you should be on. Of course it hurts. Of course it's going to cost you money to put it right. All of those things, they're negative. But getting exciting, getting angry, putting all that negative energy out into the universe because of what he did, is that going to do you any good? Is that going to help the situation? No, you see? So bad things happen to us, and they're not accidents. They're a possibility, an opportunity for us to learn something. We can, if we choose to, or we can get angry and not learn anything at all. The choice is ours. If you think about the words of the Lord's Prayer, which is an ancient prayer, other religions, I think, incorporate that as well, because the words are very, very powerful. How many times do we curse and cuss and take the "Our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name"? How often do we curse and we don't think that God's name is hallowed? So if you think of the prayers, they're not there for no reason at all. They're there for us to think about slowly. What does that mean to me when I say the Lord's Prayer, which I do every night? Every night I say the Lord's Prayer. "Our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil." Think about that. Lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. There are many temptations and there's much evil that you're going to confront. It's up to you. How are you going to deal with it? It's a very powerful prayer. So every night I say that. I send blessings to a number of people who have health issues. I request a most benevolent outcome for all the following people who are dealing with issues. Then I name the specific people, and at the end I say thank you. I'm asking for a benevolent outcome from the forces, the good forces, and then thank them for it. Yeah, I mean, I have my rituals. I grew up as a Catholic. I left it when I was 14 years old and I started asking questions. A lot of things didn't make any sense. That's what questioning is all about. You don't throw everything out and run it down and get excited and angry, as a lot of people do. They have horrible things to say about the Catholic Church and everything that happened to you. I mean, I had sisters who taught me and they used to spank me on my hands. You know, they caused a little pain. It was necessary. I shouldn't have done what I did, you know, but they were great teachers. And I was an altar boy, so I helped the priest conduct the mass, you know. Well, I didn't conduct the mass, but I helped him bring the wine. I used to taste it too, and it had awful. And then when we tasted the priest's wine, it went down in the bottle, so we had to add water to it so he wouldn't notice it. And then when he was in the middle of the Mass and he had a sip of wine, he knew that, oh yeah, it's been diluted, but he couldn't say anything because he was in the middle of the Mass, you know. We did all sorts of things. You know, I don't mind having had that experience for 13 or 14 years. When I left home and went to university, I told my parents I'm not going to church anymore. Well, they weren't mad, but they were disappointed. But I've been thinking about this for years. From the age I was 13 or 14, I started questioning these things, but I kept it to myself. Of course, all parents who are devoted Catholics don't want their children to abandon the faith. They feel that they haven't done the proper job in raising you. I don't mind having had that experience. It's good. There are lots of Catholic prayers. We pray the rosary with the beads on it. You had the Stations of the Cross, the crucifixion. And when I grew up, they had Latin Mass. Now, there is no Latin Mass, and there are people, Catholics, who want the Latin Mass to come back again. There's a drive for it, because there was something mystical and magical about two Catholics when they did the Latin Mass. The priest spoke in Latin, the prayers were in Latin. Now everything is in English. It's not the same. I loved the Latin Mass.